Hello and welcome to BBC World News. Police in the Australian city of Melbourne say one person has been killed and two hurt by a man wielding a knife on a busy street during rush hour. Police responding to calls of a vehicle fire confronted the attacker, bringing him down with a single gunshot. He's in a critical condition in hospital. Here's the latest from a spokesman for the police.
Police received reports of a vehicle on fire in Bourke Street. Nearby police quickly responded to the incident. As they got out of the car, they were confronted by a male brandishing a knife and threatening them. At the same time, passers-by were calling out that members of the public had been stabbed. Police shot the male in the chest and he is now in a critical condition at the underguard at hospital. 3 people have been stabbed. Unfortunately, one is deceased at the scene. 2 other victims are currently at hospital.
Well, let's head live now to our correspondent Hal Griffiths, who's in Sydney for us. And Hal, any suggestion at this stage this might have been terrorism?
The police say so far they're keeping an open mind. There's nothing to suggest so far, they say, evidence of terrorism. One of the impediments to their investigation is that the suspect, the man who was swinging a knife at police officers before he was shot to the ground, he is in a critical condition, as we heard there from the police. Therefore, at the moment, they're not able to question him. But from all the footage we've seen online from mobile phone so far, there's no reports of anything being shouted, which is often a hallmark of a terror attack by one person.
Take us through the chronology and also how this car was driven onto what I think is a pedestrian street.
Yeah, certainly there are barriers in place in that busy city centre area in Bourke Street in Melbourne, a really busy area for shoppers, and at that time of the day, late in the afternoon, Melbourne time, people leaving work to start their weekends. Now, the police had a call at about 4:30 p.m. that drew them to a car that had been set alight there. It had seemingly got round some barriers, possibly by doing a U-turn. However, when they arrived, they not only saw a car in flames, they saw a man brandishing a knife, and they were told by some people in the street that there were 3 people with wounds. We now know that one of those people died. The wounds were fatal. They died at the scene. 2 other people being treated in hospital. So they then confronted this knifeman. Again, the mobile phone footage shows police officers with batons, one person even with a shopping trolley trying to mow them down. But the only way they were able to stop the knifeman was with that gunshot.
A worrying incident, of course, not just for those people on the scene, but more widely in Australia. No stranger to these type of incidents, if not exactly the same.
Absolutely. Bourke Street was, in the beginning of 2017, the location of an attack where a car mounted the pavement and hit several people, tragically killing some of them. Now, since then, some measures been put in place in Melbourne, including bollards which are meant to stop cars mounting pavements, but also a siren warning system. We understand today was the first time that warning system was put into use. There was an audible siren to warn people to stay away from the area, and after the police dealt with it, another siren to tell them that the streets were safe again. Now, that may potentially have saved some lives, but the police will need to investigate whether the mitigating things, including those bollards, were enough and whether more needs to be put in place to stop any future attack taking place.
Hal, thank you. That was the BBC's Hal Griffith joining us live from Sydney. Back now to our top story this hour and that stabbing incident in Melbourne, Australia. We've just received some pictures which appear to show the attacker. Here you can see the man suspected to be the attacker being confronted by police, apparently wielding a knife there. And then police here confronting him with a gun. He was then shot. He's critically ill in hospital. Other than that, one person is said to be dead and 2 others injured after that incident in Melbourne, Australia.